Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dave, the military millionaire, and I'm sure a lot of you know that I have my real estate license, but probably don't know that I don't actually do anything with it, really. I do some referrals, but I've not actively sold a house. That being said, a buddy of mine, Charlie Cameron, has done a lot of real estate as an agent, a lot of transactions while being active duty, and is actually really, really, really good at this. So I wanted to, he helped me write a guest post, or he wrote a guest post for the blog, and I was going to talk through it, and I realized he could do a lot better job. So I asked him if he would make a video. He made a video, so I'm going to cut over to him in a moment, and you're going to get to listen to him give you 10 different tips on if you're interested in becoming a real estate agent while in the military. This is the guy to listen to. So he's definitely qualified and he's a good friend. So good deal. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you should, because if I can't make you subscribe, he can. So there you go. Have a great day, and let's see what he has to say.
Can you be active duty and a real estate agent? The short answer is yes, but the long answer is there's some things you should kind of look at to see whether it's even possible, and then some tips you should consider to make your life easier when you're trying to do both. So I'm going to walk through kind of 10 tips to help make this determination and to make your life easier if you do go down this route. My name is Charlie Cameron. I'm an active duty Air Force engineer, real estate investor, and real estate agent, and I have been able to do it part-time. And I'm going to tell you kind of how I went about that. So the first thing you want to do is look at your MOS/deployment compatibility, right? So is your career field compatible with this kind of real estate agent life? If you have last minute deployments, a lot of TDYs, or frequent deployments, then it's probably not going to work out so well. Can you overcome it? Yes. I closed my first two transactions while deployed, but it's going to get really complicated doing it that way. And then determine your job flexibility. Are you able to take leave last minute to show houses? Or is your boss going to give you flexible hours? Do you work a certain set of hours? Are they really strange hours, right? If you have a late shift, maybe that works out well because you could show homes in the morning. But if you have to work 7 to 5 every single day, you're going to have a hard time. Or if you're working weekends when a lot of people want to see homes, you're going to have a hard time, right? You need to get supervisor approval. So that's number 3. You just have to get buy-off from your supervisors that you're going to do this thing. Now, before you go in there and just kind of throw this out there, you need to have a plan. You need to be able to articulate how you're going to accomplish this without it impacting your duties. So one way you can talk about, if your job is flexible, say, hey, I'm going to take leave. I'm going to plan it out. I'm mostly going to serve out-of-area buyers or investors that don't need to go with me to see the home, so I can do it after work. You need to get their buy-off because ultimately they're going to have to approve your paperwork to even go do this. You also need to ensure that your family supports this, right? If you're just going to go run off on nights and weekends doing real estate and run into your job during the week, what's your family going to think about that? They need to be totally on board with this. May especially be true if this is part of your plan to leave the military. Then they may fully support that idea. Hey, it's going to be a hard year and a half while we get into this, but after that, we'll be able to leave and do this full time. That may be your why. So think about what your why is, and is it big enough, and does your family support it? And if all those seem to align, then just keep moving on. The next step is to know your why. So think about it. Do you want to transition from the military to real estate? Do you want to spend less time deployed and more with family? Do you want to be your own boss, have your own work freedom, have your own hour freedom? Do you want to invest in real estate and use your license for that? Do you want to amass some massive empire to pass on to your family? Do you want to pay for your kids' college? Do you want to build this sales business and build a team? You got to know what your why is. That's probably the most important step in understanding whether becoming a military real estate agent makes sense for you and whether you stay or go from active duty. So without a goal, you can't really score. So you have to have that. What is your goal going to be? What is your why? Now then, it's time to go get your real estate license. The way you want to go about that is figure out what the best option is for licensing in your state. Usually for us military folks, it's easiest to find an online course. Knock it out when you have time. For example, I did mine all online. It was death by PowerPoint, but 2 hours a day in 6 weeks, I went from idea to passing the state exam. So You can certainly do this. I recommend an online course for that. You can go search Groupon. That's a good place to start and see which ones are rated highly. And you could probably get a pretty good deal and get it knocked out. As part of that process, you're going to have to take your state exam. You're going to have to register with the state. You're probably going to have to become a realtor as well, which usually happens when you join your local MLS. So lots to consider there, lots to get done. But and remember, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Getting licensed isn't really the hard part. It's learning how to be an agent after your license and how to generate leads. That's the hard part of being a real estate agent. And then you need to get legal approval and follow the rules. So you do have to go get approved by the DOD and by your judge advocate or legal assistance office to go do this. They're going to make you fill out the right paperwork, and the legal team's going to review it. Your boss has to sign off on it for off-duty employment. So go search for off-duty employment for your service. That form will come up, and you can go about doing it with that form. And again, do not skip this step. This is very important. This is like everything else in the military. Don't break the rules. It's as simple as that, right? We have a lot more rules than everybody else in the civilian world, and you're obligated to follow them. So go make sure you do that piece. That's, again, do not skip it. Very important. And so now we're getting into the meat of how to be a successful part-time agent. So let's say you've gotten all approvals, your family's on board, you've set your goals, you've passed your exam. Now what do you do? Well, you should probably join a part-time friendly brokerage. You're going to find that there are a lot of stigmas against part-time agents. And it's nothing personal. It's really just business. A lot of local franchise brokers, they only make money from their top producing agents, right? So if you show up and say, yeah, I'm just going to kind of work part-time. No, I can't show up to the team meeting. No, I can't show up to the trainings on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock because I have work. Can you just mentor me outside of that and on weekends and give me training outside of that so I can work part-time? They're not going to be very motivated to help you, as you might imagine. So what I would do is look for an option that allows you to get great training, great support, great mentorship, all outside of work hours. That does exist, and you can go about doing it and get up to speed very quickly despite having a day job. So I did most of my training on nights after the kids were asleep, on weekends. I had my mentor who helped me on the weekends, all that kind of stuff, so that when I was taking time off from work, it was to show properties, write contracts, right? I want to make sure that when I was taking time away from family, it was for the same reasons. So you want to make sure you can get all those other things, the support and the mentorship and training, outside of work hours, so that when you do take work off or you take time away from the family, just to reemphasize that it's for the right reasons. So some other things to look for in a part-time brokerage is that you're assigned a mentor, a local one, that you have a lot of flexibility in everything you do and where you can work from, that you have multiple support avenues and different people you can go to, that you're not paying for all this fluff that you aren't using, right? You're not going into an office. So what do you care about paying desk fees, right? And then looking for potentially a nationwide company so that when you PCS, you could potentially just transfer your license, get licensed in that state as a military member. There's a lot of licensing rules that are more favorable that'll allow you to just pick up and move your license or get re-registered in that new state. But you can stay with the same brokerage with the same tools and training and everything you already know. The next tip is to be the PCS Smart Ass. So what I mean by that is you want to be the guy that people come to when they're PCSing. This is a great way to build an inbound lead source where people are coming to you. There's a lot of ways. There's a million ways to generate client leads in real estate, but the best ones are the ones that come to you, that reach out to you, right? So if you build a YouTube channel with a bunch of videos about PCSing to and from your area, about base housing, about childcare on base, about anything else, where to go weigh your car when you pull in, other moving related things. If you put that out there, or you build a Facebook specific group for PCSing to and from the area, you're gonna build a business very quickly. People are gonna look at you as the ultimate resource, and that's gonna, by providing value to others, it'll come back to you. The next tip is to try and work on building a lasting business. You could do this. You could work your butt off for a commission check here or there, but what are you really trying to do? What is your why? Are you trying to build a scalable business? Are you trying to build a business in a local area that you can then sell or leave behind as you move PCS to the next station? Are you trying to build a big business that will then replace your income when you leave the military? Um, there's different ways to do this. You can do it with referrals. Sending a lot of referrals is a good way as military members. If you know somebody moving from anywhere to anywhere, you can find an agent, link them up with that, and make a referral off that. You also can invest in real estate with your license. You have a whole bunch of additional advantages, and mostly you can move quickly and net additional commission on those properties. And then teams. Do you want to stand up and generate and build a team? If you can generate leads, like maybe you build that PCS group, then you're already doing better than 90% of new agents. So if you can figure that out, you can hire some agents on, give them leads to then work for you and split the commissions. So that's a good relationship to do there. So that's the summary. I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or to David, and we'll get them answered. See ya.